Well, you guys can't see me too well, but oh well. I was watching an earlier video of mine about etymology and the letters O, P, Q. And I'm going to try to run through this really quickly on starting the alphabet with the letter O. If you didn't watch that, and I don't connect all the dots there, go back and check that out. So if we start with the letter O, that's the original position. It's emptiness 0. The next letter is P, which is connected to a 1 and a half of a 0. So it's a 0 that's been split in half. So P is connected to a lot of words such as penis, penetration, pussy, etc., etc. Q, you're going to have to make a cut. See, these are images you have to put in your head to see how they've imaged the language. And it's not they, but you understand what I'm saying. Q is a 0, back to the original root letter, because A wasn't the first letter. It was either a B or an O. But I'll explain that maybe at the end of this. So we have O and P and then Q, which is an egg, a 0, and then a sperm going into it. That's the Q. You can see it. So the Q is the egg being inseminated. And then the R is basically movement. The letter R, the way the language is constructed, looking from the left hand side to the right hand side, because the end of the sentence is the moon. It's a period. A period is when a woman gets her period, is connected to the moon. So if you're writing something with letters and making words into sentences, the end is the period. So we can look at the value of the letter. So there's a spine on the R on the left hand side, and half of the P right there. See, remember the P now all of a sudden has a leg, and it's moving. So there's the R. So insemination, then you have the spine, the half of the 0, half of the head, and legs for movement, R. And then next is S. S is the letter for energy. Energy. Everything to do with the letter S is energy. Look at a dollar bill, you'll see an S with 2 lines through it. That's if you are listening to this and you haven't heard my earlier talks, this is a lot more advanced, so I wouldn't start here. So you got S there, and then so we've gone through the O, L. So I'll go backwards from O too, maybe just for fun. O, P, Q, R, S, and then T. So after the energy, then you get a T, which is a cross, which is a stable, firm foundation of a spine and 2 arms standing. So there's the T. And then U is a cup or a chalice. I mean, it's also you. There you are, standing. There you are. It's an empty chalice ready to be filled. And then a V is connected to the number 5, or Venus, or a vortex. V in Roman numerals is 5, which is the physical world. So if we look at a cross, which is T, that's 4. A T is a cube. It's a compass. So there's T, and then there you are. And then there's the V, which is a 5, which is connected to physicality, a phi cycle. And then a W, it should be a double V, right? I mean, isn't that how you make it? It could be a double U or a double V. It doesn't really matter, because you are in a physical embodiment. So there's your double. There's your twin. There's you in a mirror, a reflection. W, right? And then X is the same letter as T, but it's changed its angle by 45 degrees. It's moving. It's X marks a spot, right? There's a movement in X. There's a reason there's only so many words that start with X, and you can't you don't even know how to say that. Xylophone? Shouldn't xylophone start with a Z? How many how many letters can you how many words can you name that start with X and you pronounce X in any way other than a Z? So you have WX and then Y. Y is connected to a wishbone or the rib cage. This might go a little too deep for people, but the X and the Y. So you have X and Y axis on a graph page. If you're looking at a graph, there's X's and Y's. You have X and Y axis, right? And a Y is connected to the ribs, and an X is connected to the ribs. If you take X's and put them on their side and put Y's and put them on your side, you can see why a bunch of X's will give you the male rib cage, and X and Y will give you a bunch of X's on the left and three X's and a Y on the right will give you. Why did Adam? Why was a rib taken out of? Was it Adam's rib cage or however that worked? You know, in the Bible they say the God took a rib out of the man's chest and made the woman. That has to do with why there's X and Y chromosomes. And then you end up with Z, which is a bolt of lightning. It's like Thor. Not like Thor, but like who's the one that throws the sorry about the Thor thing, but who's the one that throws the bolt of lightning? What is that? Which god's name is that? So there's O to Z, and hopefully the imagery was. I just wanted to run through this real quick, but there's O to Z, and which is the land of Oz, huh? I could give you a much deeper thing on that maybe tomorrow. I just wanted to, because I'd listened to one of my old videos and I said I was going to do a part 2 and I didn't. So there's this. I guess is a part 2 of that, and maybe I'll wait until tomorrow, delete this and re-upload that further. I'll do that much better, and then give you the continuation onto the letter A, which has to do with the Auroch, angles, angels, such, and then B, which is a birthing thing. Or we could start with O and go backwards, which would be N and then M, right? And then L, which is we can go. I can maybe do it both directions tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully that was enjoyable for everybody, and we will talk very soon. Cheers.